we'll get straight into it. So thank you so much for joining. Today I wanted to go through and share a series of different strategies that have worked really well this year in 2021 as we sort of round out the year across a number of different industries on LinkedIn. And I think the best thing about these strategies is they don't require any advertising. So for any business owner, you can incorporate these strategies yourself without any sort of financial risk, really just a time investment. You can have a team deploy these strategies for you, or you can, of course, outsource it and get someone to execute this on your behalf. So the goal here today is to leave with either one or more of these strategies being a great fit for your business in 2022 to attract some new relationships that will create some new clients and business opportunities. So I encourage you to take a lot of notes as we go through the process, and hopefully it's nice and clear on what to do and execute to achieve that growth. So I'll actually go through the slides in this mode rather than going into full screen mode, just so I can navigate in and out of LinkedIn nice and effectively as we're going with each strategy. There is nothing to buy today. This is purely educational. So sit back and enjoy. That's only going to be content, and the last 30 minutes of the content won't be going through an offer or anything like that. This is purely if we haven't crossed paths before, just to say hi, share a little bit of what we've done that's worked. There'll be a few people that I'm already connected with on LinkedIn that probably hasn't stumbled across any of our content and so forth. So this can be a great introduction, but ultimately the goal is to add as much value as possible. And I'm sure if there was any opportunity to work together in the future, then you'd reach out to us anyway. So we'll dive straight in. So what I wanted to do was also go through the session and do questions at the end. So to save sort of interrupting the flow of going through each. You might be on audio, you just joined us.
So today we were going to look at all the stops.
Yeah, I can do it. That's all right. So what I'd love you guys to do is, any questions, write them down. You can throw them in the chat if you want, but what I'll do is I'll loop in and come around and answer them at the end. If there's anything that's private or you want to ask that's more personal, just send me a message on LinkedIn and we can deal with it there. So hopefully it's clear enough that there's not too many questions required, but we'll dive straight in. So just to clarify, I guess a lot of people that haven't gone down the road of LinkedIn marketing before are probably wondering, will it work in their industry with the products or services that they offer or the clients that they're looking to work with? We're yet to stumble across a scenario that there isn't a strategy that can be applied on LinkedIn. So hopefully what we share today with the 5 different approaches, one or more of them are going to be a great fit for your business. And these are all industries that we're actively either working with now or have worked with in the past that have had opportunities and revenue and clients created through one of the LinkedIn marketing strategies that we're sharing today. So if you're in one of those industries or closely affiliated, then know that we have a blueprint or a strategy that's actually proven to work inside that industry. And I tried to be fairly discerning with who got an invitation to jump on this, and going through these industries and knowing that we've served these industries. So hopefully that's the case, and why you're here on this Zoom today is for that reason. So the first thing that I wanted to change is the mindset about the LinkedIn marketing strategy itself. You've probably been on the receiving end of LinkedIn marketing if you've been on the platform for a while, where someone that is a new connection or maybe someone that you don't know that well has sent you a message, often many paragraphs long, and it's probably not the best approach to go out and get a new client. So the other thing is too, that a lot of marketing historically is going to the end client. And often the best result that one can hope for going to the end client is a single transaction, or if it's a recurring product or service, you might be able to get multiple billings over the lifetime of that client relationship, and then potentially a referral from that client's network. So the mindset that I wanted to introduce was thinking about what type of relationship or opportunity could lead to multiple transactions, where from that one person or that one business that you've got a relationship with, you can get project after project or client after client on repeat throughout the course of a 12-month cycle, and then of course many years into the future. And to give you a practical example, let's talk about, say, a carpenter. Let's say the end client is the homeowner or someone looking to build their home. If they're advertising or marketing traditionally for that homeowner, like we said, the best result is they get the build, they get that project, and then that person might do another build sometime in the future, and they engage them again and they refer a friend or family member. But in a LinkedIn sense, how could we create a multiple transaction scenario? Well, if they were to build a relationship with some developers that specialize in the type of builds that they love to do, that might be boutique residential, as an example, or it could be some project managers or some builders, then they can create a scenario where from that one relationship, there could be several builds or several projects throughout the cycle of 12 months where they get paid from each one of those fulfillments, and then of course many more into the future. So that one relationship could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime, if not into the seven figures, which is certainly possible. So this is the kind of thinking that you want to start going through when you're looking at your LinkedIn marketing strategy. Another great example is government administration, getting projects or contracts on that side of the equation. You're going to get paid. They can be super valuable. And once you've got your foot in the door there, getting repeat work in a government sense can be massive for a business, depending on what industry or space you're in. So I just wanted to introduce a few of these concepts into the mindset, because one of these coming into fruition for you could completely change the landscape and revenue streams of your entire business. And that's kind of how we approach LinkedIn and marketing in general, a lot differently to, I guess, most other agencies and businesses out there. So that leads into the first strategy that I wanted to share out of the 5 strategies today. And you're probably already familiar with the joint venture concept. It's certainly not a new concept, and I can't take any credit for it. But if you're using the LinkedIn strategy, again, bypassing going direct to the client, but looking for a complementary business, a complementary person or organization that can keep feeding or referring you clients all throughout the year, then you can open up a massive revenue stream just from one relationship. So this is what the joint venture strategy is all about. And with LinkedIn, what LinkedIn enables us to do is actually identify some really powerful joint venture opportunities and the people that we can build those relationships with that have got a very high chance of conversion. And that's what we're going to quickly run through an example of in this session today. So the first thing to think about is who has your ideal clients and are not in competition with you. So they've either got a complementary product or service, or they're involved at one stage of the process that your client goes through in their cycle to getting the outcome that they're after, and just capturing a few of those business types that would be a great partner for you based on the industry and what you offer to your clients. And what I recommend through this process, and I'll show you how to do this in just a moment, is going through and creating a list of somewhere between 20 to 50 target joint venture partners, and actually being quite deliberate with it. So actually spending some time doing some homework, some research, putting in the criteria that you want that would make the ideal partner for a joint venture relationship. So when you do execute this strategy on LinkedIn, it's deliberate, and if you're able to create that relationship, it's going to be very lucrative for you, for the end client, and also for your partner that you're joint venturing with. And a few examples that we have at the moment is we've got a conveyancer that's building joint venture relationships with real estate agents. We've got a medical specialist that's actually building relationships with other local medical specialists, and they're creating mutual referral relationships. Another one was that we spoke about with the trades, with say developers, builders, and project managers, because naturally, if a developer or a builder has access to more resources, they too can take on more projects and expand faster. It could be a gym and a nutrition store that go hand in hand together. So it's just thinking about two parties that are going to have a solution for the same client that isn't in conflict, and that's your best place to start. So this is just a screenshot, but I'm going to dive into LinkedIn and show you how you can find your list of potential joint venture partners in your local area. So you might find that those 20 to 50 businesses or people that you're looking for are just a stone's throw away within a couple of kilometers of where you are located, your headquarters or your office. So I'll move over to the LinkedIn platform to show you this strategy. Now, this is not possible to do with just a free version of LinkedIn. So I'm going to show you, you can certainly find joint venture partners in your city or your suburb and so forth, but to do it within the 5 or 1 kilometer radius of where you're set up, you'll need the Sales Navigator tool, but you can also do some searching for businesses and that just using this search bar up here. So if you type in, let's say accounting firms as an example, you'll see when you start searching, you've got all your filters here, and you can search for either people or you can search for companies and actually go through the filter process down here, look at the company size and so forth, and use the filtering with the free account. But if we open up the Sales Navigator tool, I'll show you how that can put it on a whole new level. So if you have the Sales Navigator tool, I've just noticed this up here in the right, which actually gets you 2 free months of Sales Navigator. So if you're planning on executing a marketing strategy, just let me know, and I guess I can invite you here. So I'm not sure how it works because I've never actually referred anyone, as you can see, but I noticed this option here. So if you want a couple of months of free to really give this a shot, then I'm happy to give you that invitation if you don't have Sales Navigator already. Okay, so when it comes to finding your joint venture partners, what you can do is you can click on lead filters. And what you can do is actually come here to geography and start by putting in your location based on your postal code. So you've got region, headquarters, postal code. And if I click on postal code and I'll put in my postcode here in Box Hill North down in Victoria, and then you'll see you've also got options of how far out you want to have this radius with your targeting. So let's say it was within an 8K radius of where I'm currently located. Let's say my target joint venture partner was an accounting firm. So I can come here and type in accounting, add that to my search. Already there's going to be 6,500 people that work in the accounting industry just in Box Hill North. What I can then look for is, say, the owner, the director, or the partner. And then if I want to take this to the next level, let's say I wanted the company to have between 11 and 50 employees. So they've probably got a reasonable sized client base, which might be our target clients that we're looking to work with, but they're also not too big as well. I could put in this criteria. And you see I've got a list of 163, if I click search, accounting business partners, owners, directors that are within an 8K radius of my location, that I could now go and start creating these joint venture relationships with. So I can go through and actually look at each opportunity, check out their business, connect with them. I've also got the ability to reach out. So this is the power of the Sales Navigator tool, is you can actually find people within proximity. And naturally, if you know that you're only a couple of kilometers away from each other, That could be great for the clients, knowing that you're just down the road for however the joint venture arrangement is set up. It's also great for the person that you're looking to create the joint venture with, as they can see the proximity and the value in that. It's easy to go actually physically catch up if you want to do that. So that's one way that you can zero in on joint venture opportunities that are just in the local area or postcode that you're operating out of. So that was the first thing that I wanted to show you for this strategy. And it'll actually lead then into the second strategy that we're talking about, which is the outreach. So this is what most of us will have been on the receiving end of. If you've been on LinkedIn for a while, where another business or another person has contacted you or sent some sort of message exploring or presenting a business opportunity. So this can go very wrong if you go about it the wrong way, and it can go very, very well if you have the right approach. And the goal is to think about it from the end user's perspective. So the person that you're trying to build a relationship with, what are they going to respond to? If you send them 3 or 4 paragraphs and you're a stranger and it's talking about things that aren't very attractive, or they're not going to be that interested in, or it's not a great fit for their position or role within the company, then this messaging strategy just won't work. But if you're sending it to the right decision maker that's going to see the value in a risk-free fashion, then there's something clearly in it for them that solves a problem or delivers a result, then you're going to have a lot of success with this outreach strategy on LinkedIn. So it's all about getting the right message to the right person at the right time that makes this process work or fail if you don't do it in the right way. So the first thing I'll note is this version of a message is what's been super successful in just about every industry that we've worked with our done-for-you clients in LinkedIn. And you can just take this and, I guess, adapt it for who your ideal clients are and what the strategy is that you're using. So you can see it's very short and sharp, and it speaks to a problem or outcome. And one of the keywords that we like to use is collaborate or win-win. So it might say, "Hi, Aaron, it's great to connect. Just quickly, are you open to a quick chat to see how we can collaborate on XYZ? Thanks, Aaron." And if I'm addressing something that's going to be a clear problem, or it's going to be a clear benefit to that business owner or that manager or that person inside the business or that potential client that I'm looking to work with, then I'm going to get a much higher response rate and a much better conversion and ROI than if I'm using a very generic approach with a very weak offer to the wrong person. So I'm going to go through a few examples just to show you a few different strategies that work particularly well with different businesses right now on LinkedIn. So this one is specific to the trade industry. And you can see the template for it here. "Hi, Aaron, it's great to connect. Just quickly, we've got a team of 10 Melbourne-based carpenters. Are you open to a quick chat to see if we can support whatever their company's name is projects? Thanks, Aaron." That message going, we've got some resources that your development company, your construction or building company can leverage to complete projects faster, to meet deadlines, to take on more projects, works really, really well. So that could be transferable to just about any trade. And you can see an example that I've had to black out to protect the people in the conversation with this of it working. And the response to that message is, "Hey, no problem. Please feel free to give me a call on mobile number. I do get busy, but I'll always get back to you. Regards." So that's just one example of doing outreach in a way where it's going to be a win-win scenario to the right person that's looking for more resources or more carpenters in this example to take on more projects or get them delivered faster. The next one is on the joint venture note that we spoke about in the first strategy. So in this one, this is what we've been doing with a medical specialist up in the Central Coast on Sydney. "Hi, Aaron, it's great to connect. We're looking to set up a win-win referral relationship with a local, whatever specialist they are in the Central Coast. Are you open to a quick chat to discuss? Thanks, Aaron." So you can imagine if you reached out to another business and said, "We want to refer you customers or clients and come at it from that angle, a lot of people are going to have that conversation with you. And if there's synergy and what you do can also support their clients and get them some results as well, then it's the perfect relationship to open up. And that person might refer you 10, 15, 20 clients over the course of every 12 months. And you can imagine what that's worth to a business, especially because there's no advertising or anything like that involved in the process. Another thing you might do is structure a relationship where they get paid a commission or a referral fee or some sort of value add, so you can incentivize and make it a really powerful referral relationship. Or it could be a white label where they get to sell your services at a fixed fee, but they mark it up and take the extra amount on top. So there's a lot of different ways you can go about this, but creating 2 or 3 of these relationships in 2022 might add 2 or 3 significant client streams to your business that change the game very quickly. So that's an example of creating a joint venture scenario where you refer each other client opportunities if it's applicable to your business. The next one, this was one where we made a major shift with one of our clients, where we were going with a message that it was working, but it wasn't converting extremely highly. And I said, how can we make it more appealing and more attractive to your ideal clients? And what they suggested was we could actually give them a free trial of our solution. So if there's any ability to offer a free trial of the product or service or whatever it is that your business offers, a lot of people are going to be open to a risk-free scenario like that. So if you're contacting someone that you don't have a pre-existing relationship with, and you've got a free trial that solves a problem or delivers a result that they're after, you're probably going to get a lot of positive responses to your outreach strategy on LinkedIn. And you can see here, hi, it's great to connect. Would you be interested in a free trial about whatever the product, service, or solution is that speaks to XYZ problem or delivers the outcome over the next 30 to 90 days? This will go really, really well if you have a really helpful product or service. You can see down here the response. Hi, thanks for the email. We certainly do. All our sites have blank. When would you like to chat? You're welcome. How's your schedule next week? I'm around. My mobile number is, and meeting booked. So if you can somehow take the risk off the prospects and the opportunities that you're reaching out to, LinkedIn's going to be very successful for you. Whereas if you're asking them to do a lot or to take a chance, and there's an investment of time or money and they don't even know you, then you're probably going to get very mixed results with the LinkedIn strategy. So there's just a few different ways to take outreach and make it successful for your business, and do the opposite of, I guess, what a lot of people do when you receive those inbound messages in your inbox or email on LinkedIn. The next strategy is the one that I'm probably most excited to share with you, and this is the decision maker blueprint. And like with any marketing, one of the reasons why people don't have success, it doesn't matter whether it's on LinkedIn or off LinkedIn, is they're not getting to the right person. So you might hear people getting hundreds of leads, but they're not converting and they're not turning into clients. Usually it's because they're not getting qualified leads or qualified opportunities. With LinkedIn, we're able to zero in on the exact person that's going to extract the value from the solutions that you offer. So we know we're going right to the person that has the power to make the decision. They meet the criteria for your products and services and solutions, and we can bypass all the gatekeepers, the inefficient time spent on leads that aren't a fit, which again, it's a big labor expense if you're paying people to work with leads that aren't converting. And if you're advertising to get to those people as well, that's another thing that eats into your profit margins. So really excited to show you how to get to any decision maker that's on LinkedIn. That's the only caveat. They have to have a LinkedIn profile and be somewhat accessible. But here's how you can actually find them in any industry and any target that you're looking to pursue. So there's a few different ways you can go about it. Again, if you have the Sales Navigator tool, you can put this process on steroids. You can do it for a very specific company, or you can go a bit broader if you want to find target opportunities. So let's say you had a very specific contract, project, or client in mind that you want to work with. You can actually infiltrate that target client by going deep with that particular opportunity, or if you wanted to just build a list of potential clients or business opportunities and sort of start from scratch, you can also do that as well very successfully using LinkedIn. So I'll run you through a few examples, and here's just a screenshot. You can see this is with BHP, because I'm sure most of us are familiar with that company, and you can actually find all the decision makers that work at that company with your Sales Navigator account very quickly. So I'll jump back over onto my internet, back into LinkedIn. So let's say you wanted to target a very specific company, and we'll look at BHP as an example from the screenshot. If I type in BHP, so you type in any company that you want, and as long as they're listed on LinkedIn, you should be able to go through this process. If I bring that company up from the search, I can then click on BHP. And then if I go over to the tab that says people, so you've got home, about, posts, jobs, life, and then people. If you click on that option and you scroll down, you'll see here, it's actually got the 2,977 decision makers that are at BHP. And then I can click on that, open it up in Sales Navigator, and then I can start putting more filters on. So if I'm looking for a specific project or opportunity, I might then, again, go to my local city or suburb, put that in. So I've just put Melbourne in, and you can see now it's down to 203 decision makers that are in Melbourne for BHP. And then you've got the ability to search for specific titles. So if you're looking for, let's say, a sustainability manager because you had a sustainability solution for their company, you could type in sustainability manager and actually put that criteria in. So you've got all the ability to sort of zero in and find that key decision maker that you're looking for. If you don't have the Sales Navigator account, you can, as I said, still, if I put BHP in here and I go to my filters, I can actually, I'm looking for people. So I can start filtering by people. I can actually go for Melbourne. I can choose the company BHP, and then I can type in the title, and I can put in whatever that title is. So I put in manager. Just have to move the Zoom video out the way there. Click show results. I can still find 167 people without the Sales Navigator tool that are in management on LinkedIn without the Sales Navigator account. So it's just going to take a little bit more deep diving and a little bit time investment on your part. But the next thing I wanted to show you that was really powerful was if you were looking for opportunities from scratch and looking for decision makers in a particular industry with a very specific type of company. So if I was to, let's say, looking for, let's say, accounting firm owners, again, were my target for my audience, for my LinkedIn marketing strategy. And I wanted them to meet a very specific criteria to make sure that they're a great fit. You'll see that there's lead filters, but there's also account filters. If I click on the account filters option, what I can do is go through my same process. So let's say I wanted to go by my postcode again and search for people that are very close to where I'm residing or where my office is. But you'll see there's some pretty cool things like annual revenue, company headcount growth, department headcount growth, depending number of followers, and all these different relationship options and technologies that they use. So you've got all these advanced filtering options. So if I want to find an accounting firm that does, let's say, between $2 and $5 million in revenue, because that's who I'm looking to work with, I can put in 2 and 5 here, click add, and you can see it's going to filter based on $2 and $5 million. Now, that's only produced one result, so I might need to expand that out a little bit. And let's put in Melbourne. Now I've got 275 results. And I can go to industry, type in accounting. I've got 7 results, and I can click search. And that's brought up 7 accounting businesses in Melbourne that hit my criteria for annual revenue. And then what I can do is I can actually go to this example, which is LGY Accountants. So I apologize if any of you work for this company. I don't think so. If I click on that, you'll see it actually has the employees here under search leads. It also has the decision makers. In this case, it doesn't have any listed, but if I click on employees, it's going to bring up all the employees in this company. And I can actually scan and look for who would be the right person for my strategy to have a look for. So again, if you're looking for a very specific type of client, this is how you can reverse engineer based on their revenue, their size, and actually find decision makers in that company and build relationships with them. And this is how you're going to get the highest quality opportunities for what you're trying to achieve, and know that if you do get the door open, that you're going to convert very highly and have a lot of success with it than if you're just randomly connecting with someone that doesn't have any influence at that company, isn't involved in making decisions at that level, and it's just going to be a massive time waste for both parties involved. So that's what I wanted to show you about finding decision makers that you're looking for, and hopefully those few examples can help you accelerate your ability to get to the opportunities, whether they're for joint ventures, whether they're for outreach and making contact, but making sure that you're getting to the person that's going to enhance and speed up that process of getting the outcome that you want using LinkedIn. So we'll go back to the presentation again. Just have to move that out of the way. Okay, so the next thing that the strategy that I wanted to talk about was the event strategy. And this has become revolutionary for anyone in the advisory space. So when we first started helping businesses and clients with the strategies on LinkedIn, as you can imagine, people that were consultants, advisors, even in the accounting sense, when you're reaching out to someone that has a business or could be an ideal client, it's not going to be super effective when they're already potentially working with an accountant that they're happy with, or you're just a random advisor and there's lots of people out there sort of pitching them and trying to get their attention. It's very hard to show why you're different and how you can help and why it's worth their time interacting with you. But with the event system, you can actually add value and you can actually show how you're different, share some information and some strategies in advance, all risk-free. So that's how you can clearly establish the value and how you solve problems that their existing advisor, if they have one, doesn't, or if they don't have an advisor, why they should consider having one. And the great thing about LinkedIn is you can get fill and register the entire event process for free without advertising. So you don't have to necessarily have an ad budget to fill an event. You don't have to have any additional tools or softwares. You can do it all through the LinkedIn platform absolutely free, which is what happened today. I invited about 200 people in my network if they wanted to jump on this session, and we'll see the result of that in a moment. But what you can do is start by creating a compelling free event. So you wouldn't just say, let's say you're an accountant, you wouldn't just say, hey, a free event for business owners, or a free Zoom for business owners, come and join us. You want to talk about the outcome, what they're going to receive and walk away with from jumping on that Zoom or that Google Hangout or that Teams meeting, however you want to do it. Or you might choose to do it at your office or at a venue. You can do it either online or offline. Obviously, it's more cost effective and you've got a lot more freedom doing it virtually. And COVID's supported that for a lot of businesses making that transition over the last 2 years. So it might be 3 ways to legally minimize your tax and keep more profit in 2022. Could be the title of the event. That title is a lot more compelling than a free accounting event for business owners on LinkedIn. So if you get that hook right, you're going to have a lot more people interested and want to come to your event. What's beautiful about this process is you actually choose who you invite to the event. So you can make it very specific and very targeted. So there was a very niche part of your network that you wanted to invite to have on a very exclusive or private session, you could do that. If you wanted to go more broad and general and have a lot more people on it, you can do that as well. So it gives you the freedom and flexibility to invite the key people, the decision makers, and the people that you actually want to attend your event to join. And then the key part to the process is adding that value, is making sure that when people come and have that hour with you, those 2 hours, however long that period of time is, they walk away going, okay, clearly you can solve my problems. Clearly you have solutions that I need. And from there, you could have a very low risk next step, which could be if you're an accountant, it could be a 1 hour consultation to identify opportunities to minimize your tax or to restructure your business and grow in 2022. So you might have that as the next step at the end of the event. And that's how you're able to create a pathway to getting the client. Now, why this is also powerful is it's a one-to-many scenario. You're educating a group of people from that 1 or 2 hours, as opposed to going direct to someone on LinkedIn that could be a client saying, hey, let's jump on a call so I can show you how to minimize your tax in 2022. You're actually doing it to 5, 10, 15, 20 people at once, which means you're getting much more leverage use of your time, which means you could also get multiple client outcome from that event instead of that one client outcome if you're just messaging them directly. So here's a screenshot. This was an event I did in September. And just from inviting people in the LinkedIn network that I have, there was 70 people, so Brian and 69 other people that wanted to attend. And even though only a small percentage of people do show up for a free event when it's online, identifying those people that have put their hand up and said, yes, I'm actually interested in LinkedIn marketing is very good to know. It sort of shows you who's looking at that as a solution or is interested. So immediately you can sort of extract people in your network that could be potential future opportunities for you. So that's the other very powerful step. And then we'll jump onto the LinkedIn platform to share the example from today. So if I go back to my homepage here, if I wanted to create an event, I just scroll down here to the left and you'll see that there's an events option and a plus sign. If I click on that plus sign, I can now go through and actually set up my event for free on LinkedIn. So online, like we're doing today, which is on Zoom or in person if you want to do it offline at your office or at a hotel or a venue. Then you select your format. So like we did today, Zoom link, you just put it in, get your time zone right. I nearly messed it up for this event actually, so it's good that I double checked it. Here's where you put in your event name. So having that compelling title that I spoke about. So, 3 strategies to legally minimize your tax and increase your profits in 2020, the start time and date, and then obviously some of the description about what people will walk away with from the event, and then put yourself in as the speaker if you're the one presenting. And that's how easy it is. You've set your event up. And then for the marketing side of it, we go to today's event. If I click on open that up, all I need to do is click on this big blue invite button, which you can see here. And anyone that's in my network that I'm connected with, I can actually invite them. So this is my wife, Paula. If I wanted to invite her to attend the event, I can just select her name. Let's say I wanted to invite these people in my network, and I just click invite, and they will get the invitation just like I presume you did, to come along and join the Zoom. And it's that simple. It's all free. There's no advertising. I just spend 20 minutes going through and going, who would be a great fit to come to the event? You say, I invited Jason from Way and Pay because I thought this would be a great opportunity for him. And that's how you can market and fill the event for free using LinkedIn. So the other cool thing about that is you can see there are Jenna and 40 people that said, yeah, they'd love to come to this event. We're recording this. I understand that only a small percentage of people will show up, but we can also go back and go, here's the recording. Watch it in your own time. So we're still adding value to these 41 people in our network, and they'll have a really good indication of what we do at the digital marketing agency, how we're different from other solutions out there. And at some point in the future, they may be interested in working with us, or they might tell someone else in their network about what we do as well. So this is a really good way to show you how we're different from another marketing agency, and also a great platform if you wanted to do that as an advisory business, or if you wanted to just educate any potential clients about what you do. This is a really cool free way to, of course, fill that up, do it, and also get these hands up right here to see who's actually interested in the solutions and the problems that you solve. So that's the event strategy. And we'll go back into the presentation. So the next one is the trusted advisor strategy. So this is a very powerful process. If you wanted to, I guess, infiltrate someone that's a celebrity, a public figure, a very high profile business person, and you wanted to build a relationship with them because they've either got access to a large audience that can accelerate your brand and audience growth, or you might be able to create some sort of joint venture relationship or opportunity with them. There's just a lot of potential to, or you just might want to meet them and have that opportunity to engage with them. And we had this strategy work all the way back in 2015, so going back 6 years, and you may or may not recognize this person. It's Grant Cardone, who's massive over in the USA. And he's just been on Undercover Billionaire, actually, on Discovery Channel, on the most recent series of that show. So at that time, we were very big followers of Grant and what he was doing on social media. So we were able to use this strategy to build a relationship with his video production manager, which was Robert Sislow. And we built up a lot of rapport with Robert. And over time, we found out that Grant actually wanted, one of his goals was he wanted 7 billion people in the world, which was the global population, to know his name. And we realized it wasn't very significant at that point in time in Australia. So we said to Rob, hey, would Grant be interested in getting, building his presence down in Australia? We'd love to be able to support and help that. He went to Grant. Grant was obviously wanted to infiltrate Australia at that point in time. And next minute, we're sitting next to Grant in Miami, and he's actually interviewing us on his show. So he's interviewing us rather than us interviewing him, which is a really cool opportunity to capture a bunch of Grant's audience and have a really fun time with a massive public figure. So that's how this strategy came about. So what you can do on LinkedIn is you can actually find the people to connect with and build relationships with that can get you access to someone like Grant or a key person. There might be a politician or that celebrity or that influencer, or they might run a massive podcast and you want to get on their show because they stream to millions of your audience every single week. And the goal is, look, this is like a sort of a 2-3 month strategy. You're really going deep, building that relationship with that person that is connected to them. And the ultimate goal is they're introducing you to the target celebrity or the target public figure and presenting an angle that's going to be very attractive or appealing to help them get what they want. So it could be that you can add a ton of value on one of their podcast episodes that would be really awesome for their audience. Or you might be able to open up a new revenue stream or opportunity for them. Whatever it is, find out what they want and then get that person that has a relationship with them to introduce and to pitch that angle to them to get that door open. So we'll use I'll show you how this works. Again, I'll pop over to LinkedIn and let's just use the Grant example. So let's say Grant was my target. I can go find Grant on LinkedIn and I can, of course, connect with him. So what I can do is I can go to Grant's profile and Grant will have his companies listed here. You can get all sorts of information down in the experience section. But if I click on Grant's company, Grant Cardone Enterprises, what I can now do here is go to this employees section. So he's got 115 employees. If I click on that, it'll open up all the different employees at Grant Cardone Enterprises. And then I will be looking for the roles that are going to be closely linked to Grant. So it could be his video production guy, who was Rob Sislow at the time. It could be the CEO, Sherry. And you could also go have a look at Grant's posts and activities to go see who is he with in his videos, who's in them regularly. So, okay, that person's spending a lot of time with Grant and actually identify who that target to build the relationship is. So let's say it was Steve. I can go and connect with Steve on LinkedIn, then to develop this strategy, what I'm going to be looking to do is just build up a connection and rapport with Steve. So what I would do is go to Steve's activity, and I'll be looking for his recent posts. So if I click on posts, it's going to open that up. And I can see everything that Steve has posted chronologically. So the goal would be to start engaging. So obviously react to the post. Then I would come down here and write a meaningful comment. So if he's written some context and something awesome, I'm going to comment. And as you see, Steve's pretty good at commenting back. So I want to get into a comment conversation with Steve, and I want this to happen repeatedly every time that he posts over an extended period of time, to where you can tell that he clearly knows who you are, and it starts getting playful in the comments section. So like I said, this might take quite a few months. Then when you feel like there's enough rapport there and the relationship is strong enough, that's when you take the conversation over, and I'll go back to Steve's profile, over to message. And what you might start off with is, hey, love all the stuff that you're posting on LinkedIn. Looks like we're having a bit of fun on the comments there. How's everything going? And just have like that friendly interaction and banter going back and forth via message for an extended period of time. Of course, I'm not connected to Steve, so I'd have to send him an email at the moment. Let's say I am connected to Steve. I could go ahead and actually start messaging him. And once we've got that rapport, and start going back and forth. And then when you feel like the relationship is at a really strong point, that's when you might say, hey, notice that Grant, really wants to get access and build his brand to the globe. He hasn't got a massive presence down here in Australia. Do you think he'd be interested in getting a bigger audience here? And of course, Steve's going to say, yeah, of course he is. So we'd love to help that happen. Do you think Grant would be open? Would you be open to a 5-minute chat, and we can talk about how we'd like to help Grant do that? So you have the conversation with Steve, so that way you can test your angle and your offer to see if it's something that he feels Grant would be interested and open to. So you have the conversation with Steve, and then obviously if Steve's on board, you've got your person to go pitch on behalf of you to that public figure or that celebrity, so they can go and be your cheerleader to get the deal done. So that's exactly how you would go about accessing your hero, a really targeted, high-profile business opportunity, or someone that you just really have always wanted to meet or have a conversation with. So that's the what I call the trusted advisor strategy, where you're getting access to the person that is your target through someone in their network that is one of their trusted advisors. So it's reverse engineering access, because someone like Grant would get hundreds, if not thousands, of messages from strangers and random people a day. He just wouldn't read them, nor would he have the time to do so. But if you can get that introduction and do it properly, you're going to have a much higher strike rate and success getting to that person. All right, so it looks like we've managed to get through the 5 strategies. Thanks so much for sticking around, because I appreciate that it is a work day. This is in business hours. And you're giving up your time. I hope and trust that it was a valuable hour, and you certainly feel like that was very well invested. Even if you got one idea or one tweak or shift in mindset or strategy that you didn't have access to before, I believe it will be valuable. I've obviously said that this stuff works, but we've got a lot of clients. And if you go to my profile in the recommendation section, you can have a look at what our clients say about these strategies that we talked about today working for them. Another really cool resource is our YouTube channel, which is obviously free. We've got tons of videos. We try and upload a new one every single week. So make sure that you head over there and subscribe. And there's a ton of strategies that we didn't cover today that you can also get access to. All the videos are quite short and sharp, sort of 4 or 5 minutes long. So that's a really cool resource to get the latest content, everything that we're posting. We also do post these to LinkedIn every week. So if you're connected and following me, you should see them come up there as well. So that's a great resource. As I said, if you wanted to have a private chat about any of the strategies to get some personalized ideas, you're welcome to book a Zoom with me. There'll be no pitch on that Zoom. If you were interested in what we do, you can bring it up yourself. I'm not going to bring it up. But if you wanted to catch and pitch one of these strategies, or what's the best fit, or go through a scenario that's appropriate for your business, this is the link.